Hiya peeps, my name's Mark and today's job is right here. So this is me renovating my little cottage on my own, working by myself. So I've got these big beams I've got to fit into the hallway. I was going to say lounge, but it kind of was the lounge, but it's kind of going to be the hallway now. So I've just got my delivery, so I'm going to shift these beams and then start fitting them. So come watch me install a floor, basically sticking in some floor joists and eventually relocating the staircase, which I'll show you another video. But for now, I'm going to crack on. I'm going to get these flooring joists in. So anyway, so keep watching, keep learning, and I'll see you later on. Cheers. Hi folks, as you can see I'm inside and this is my lounge stroke hallway now, because stairs used to be there and they're going to be moved over there. I'm going to block off this window and I've opened up that one. So basically I'm putting these joists in. I'm running 2 each end, and then I'm going to hang some joist hangers on there, and then I'm going to run the joist that way. This used to be like a 4x2 beam, so it was very undersized, and they used to run this way. So I filled up all the holes where they used to sit on the wall, and then I'm going to run the joist the opposite way. So I'm going to crack on.
Right, here I go folks, getting out these old beams. So these beams, as I said before, are quite undersized, at only 4 inches by 2 inches, so they needed replacing. I mean, I have got a bit of a struggle with this building because the heights, so I had to be quite mindful on how big the beams were going to go back in, because the bigger they were I was going to lose some space. So the biggest I could really do was 6x2, which I think will be okay. So as you can see, this old building, you know, it was a bit nerve-wracking, I must admit, because some of the brickwork is quite loose in places, which I needed to support and redo. But you know, it was okay in the end. I had a bit of advice from a specialist, you know, reassured me that things were okay. So you know, I was happy to just crack on and get it all out. And as you can see here, this is the old staircase I had to pull out. I must admit, it was a bit of a bugger to get out. You know, it was very well made and really fixed in well, but with a bit of brute force with my iron bar I managed to get all the treads out, and I was pleased to finally get the whole thing out with very little damage to anything, which was really good. So I was pretty happy. And then once I cleared that, I was going to start setting out my joist and get this new floor back in. So here we go, getting some new joists in. I had to chop out a couple of holes in each wall just to get the beams in, or get the perimeter beam in. See, this is the main beam that you're going to set your joist off. So first space I had to allow for the new staircase, and then I'm putting in double beam. As you can see, I'm putting the first joist hanger in, and then what I'll do is I'll set out my new joist off that at 400 centres, which is pretty standard. So as I explained, I'm putting in a couple of laminated beams, which are 2 beams, 2 joists sandwiched in between a sheet of ply, and then they're bolted together with coach bolts about 12 inches apart. So you know, it was pretty strong, and it just stopped the old whipping of the floor, because you know, it's like, you know, you don't want really too much bouncing up there, you know, when you've got a bit of weight up there. So here you can see me setting out again, mirroring from one side to the other, and trying to square it up as best as I can. I mean, like I said before, you can imagine this old building is not particularly square, it's not particularly level, so you know, it threw up a lot of challenges, but with a bit of perseverance, you know, I got somewhere in the middle. It was pretty level, and it was pretty square, so I was reasonably happy.
basically I've put in some support beams across from wall to wall, and I've hacked out the bricks, and I've gone through the first skin of bricks and laid the 2 cross beams, and then also I'm going to bolt through into the wall on each side. Well, I'm probably going to bolt round all of them, so I'm going to do like a square frame, and then as you can see I'll put in my first main timbers. So on this, what I'm going to do is just to take the bounce out of this floor. I don't want anything afterwards and regret it. So there's a couple of things. You could have put steel in, which would have been quite expensive and a lot of hassle, or you could put in a flitch beam, which is 2 timbers sandwiched with a plate of steel, which is quite expensive for the flat plate, and to be honest, getting hold of it's not that easy. So I'm always looking for sort of more affordable ways of doing things. So I mean, the structural engineer said this was fine, but I just want to make sure there's no whipping the floor. You know, if I'm going to do it, I only want to do it once. So I'm going to create a laminated beam. So basically it's 2 timber beams sandwiched with some hardwood ply, 18mm ply. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to double up with a laminated beam. So I'm going to put 2 in and then carry on. So okay, let's crack on, get this done.
And there you go, folks. Joist all fitted. All I need to do now is add a few rows of noggins. If you're unsure what noggins are small sections of timber that you place in between your main beams, and that stops twisting. It also strengthens up the floor, you know, adds a bit of rigidity to it. So that's all I've got to do, and then it's all done. You know, I'm pretty happy with the way it turned out. You know, it threw up a few challenges, you know, especially working on your own. I mean, these beams are quite heavy, but you know, with a bit of determination, I got there. After this is finished, then I'm going to crack on and put the floor down. This floor is going to have tongue and groove chipboard flooring. Yeah, it's quite a modern product, but you know, it's quite easy to lay, which I'll show you. I'll do a little video showing you how to lay tongue and groove flooring if you've never done it before. But yeah, hopefully you like the video. Hopefully you've learnt something if you've never done anything like this before, and it also shows you what is possible with a bit of willpower and a bit of determination. Anyway, I'll see you on the next video. My name's Mark. Cheers.